I have visualized recording this video for over 1,000 times ever since I can remember. So it really feels surreal right now. And I think after this moment and after recording this video is when I feel I'll finally be able to process this feeling, because I don't think I still have been able to. So I'm just going to get straight to how this started, okay? And if you have seen my previous videos, if you have seen my videos on my journey and my learnings across Paris, London and Shanghai, where I went for my second master program. That's when this whole thing started, the loan started, and I'll tell you about it in a second. I went there thinking that, okay, I am really interested in luxury and fashion and I'm going to do this and that. Turned out that it couldn't be further from the truth. I ended up hating it. I ended up hating this whole industry for multiple reasons, and I just couldn't do it. As in, I went through the program, of course, but when the time came to get an internship and get a job, that's when the whole thing comes in, right? The loan thing, when you start working in a different country. I would have started working in a company in, let's say, Paris, and I would have started to earn in euros, and that's when the loan repayment would have started right then and there. But I didn't do any of that. I have always followed my heart, and no matter how stupid it may have seemed at that time, that's again what I did. So I came back, but I came back with a huge loan of over 35 lakhs, and I just didn't know what to do. I was completely clueless. I had no idea where I was going and what I was doing. And then one thing led to another. I finished my internship in Taj. All of that happened, and then I got a job in WeWork. Now, when I started working in WeWork, I knew that somebody with my background, with my experience, should be earning 3 or 4 times more than what I was earning in WeWork. But of course, because I chose to stay back, I had to go through it. So I worked there. 1 year was like absolute fun. It was amazing. But by the starting of 2020, I really started to get super restless, and I was like, I cannot do this anymore. This is not me. I just don't want to work for anyone anymore. Why should I be doing things that I don't enjoy doing? It was getting so frustrating. I used to cry every single day, go in the balcony and just like cry my heart out and remind myself over and over again that it's okay, Shpreet, it's the last time you're doing it. It's the last time you're working. It's the last time you're in a job. I just used to like keep telling myself these things while I was doing the work stuff, being in the company. And then this opportunity came in to go to London. This was right before COVID had happened. So this opportunity came to go to London, and I tried to do everything to make that happen. Like literally everything. I even went up to the manager and I told her that I'm putting down my papers without having any plan, without even starting with this whole process. And I know it was dumb, but I just did it. And she just told me that, Ashri, don't be in such a rush. Just like give it another thought and then maybe we can discuss. And I was like, no, I want to quit. But they still forced me to have another day. So I was like, fine. I went back and I started to do the whole thing by myself. I didn't want to take money from my dad again. So going to London, staying there, all these things, I started to manage on my own. I even paid for the visa. I applied for the visa, did all that stuff. It was 40,000 for the visa, I think, at that time. And this whole thing had happened, and I tried to apply another loan, okay, because I didn't want to take money from my dad. And of course, the bank wouldn't give me loan because I already had an existing loan of like 30 lakhs. Do you see like how messed up this situation is turning out until right now? I just wanted to get out. I was so desperate to just get out of the job thing and wanted to do something on my own. So I was trying everything. I tried so much. It did not turn out. No matter what, the banks did not give me the loan. And when that happened, I was crushed. I was devastated. I felt like this was my last hope. And what am I going to do now? I have nothing. What am I going to do? And then COVID happened in between this whole process. The flights were already banned. The borders shut. Everything shut. And then I had to go back to my manager and tell her that, you know what, I would like to keep my job. Yeah, as embarrassing as that was. But I did that. And very soon we had to quit and leave the buildings. I went back to Indore. It happened in such a rush that I had to pack my bags in one day. And I left my passport also there only, and that's how, I lost my passport. I've made a whole video on how I manifested my passport after 8 months of losing it. But that happened. I went back to Indore and I never came back. Never came back because the company laid me off in around May. And I'm telling you, the moment that I had heard the news of layoffs happening, I had the strongest gut feeling that I have ever had in my whole life. Like I knew that this was the moment. I wanted to get out, and this is the moment that is going to be that U-turn for me. This is going to be the moment I'm always going to remember. And that happened. I was laid off. And while I disclosed this news to my family, and I knew, looking at their faces, how they were panicking, my dad and mom, I was so chill. I was so chill, as in, of course, I was nervous and a little scared inside as to having no plan as to what am I going to do now. But there was peace, there was calm, and it felt like this is meant to be. It felt like this is what was meant to happen. So when this whole thing happened, instead of panicking and everything, like I said, I just was put together for some reason. I was very put together. The same day, I told my dad that I don't want to be in a job anymore, ever. I don't want to be in a job, and I want to start my own business. Now, can you imagine somebody who is as clueless as me and has a loan of over 30 lakhs, 35 lakhs on me, and then trying to start my own business in this scenario? I should have been losing my mind, okay? I should have been losing my mind, not knowing what to do, but it did not happen that way. And then I took a week's break. And I knew what I was going to do, by the way. Like, by this time, I knew that I wanted to be a coach. I just didn't know how. So I wanted to be a coach. I wanted to coach people on manifestation and all these things, because this is something that I was studying and I was implementing in my life since the last 7-8 years. I had studied so much about it that it was time. I felt like it was time that people started to know about it. I was always this person in the family anyway, who people reached out to when they wanted to feel better, or when they wanted like a dose of motivation. And the same thing with my friends also. They always used to reach out to me when they needed something like that. That was one thing that I knew that, okay, I was good at. Okay, I was good at this particular thing, at motivating people and at getting them to feel uplifted no matter how crappy they were feeling. And clubbed it with the knowledge that I had gained with regards to manifestation and all these things in the past 7-8 years. So when this happened, like I said, I took a week's break and then I got into it. By the way, the first client also that I got, it was not me reaching out to anyone. Like I always talk about attraction marketing, right? I didn't reach out to that person. It came through mutual, and it happened so quickly. I think in 1 or 2 weeks of me starting my business, I just got this through a mutual friend. I coached her and she got amazing results. Her review is still one of the most profound reviews that I have. And after that, I got another client in 2 weeks. But then there was like this big patch where nothing really was moving. I just know one thing, that I don't think there was ever a moment where I cursed myself, where I doubted myself, where I told myself that what have you gotten yourself into? How will you do it? Okay? Or maybe going out to my friends and family and saying that I don't know how am I going to do it. I don't know, for some reason, I just always had a sense of faith and belief in me and in the universe that no matter what, things will always turn out for me. Things will always work out for me. That's just how it has to be. So I just had this faith and belief in me throughout this whole process. Then after a few months, I was hit with one of the darkest times of my life. Like I was literally just starting out. In my personal life, something happened that shook me up from the very core. My identity, everything was shook up. I had to take a gap of 13 days. I remember I went MIA for 13 days. I locked myself up in the room and I didn't speak to anyone. And I logged off social media. But by that time, the 21-day Raise Your Vibration challenge that a lot of you are enrolled in and a lot of you have changed their life by being in that program was shot and was recorded in those 13 days. Because I had made a commitment on my social media that this is the day then that this course is going to be released and everything. I couldn't go back on that commitment, no matter how crappy I was feeling. So even though for everyone who is enrolled, even if it doesn't look like it, when you see those videos, I'm sure it looks very normal and everything. I was at rock bottom at that time in my life and I was recording those videos. So 13 days of MIA and this is what I was doing. And it just felt so good. Something felt so good at least that, okay, if nothing, at least I have my course ready and I did what I said I would do. That course went live. And by that time, I had moved to Manali. All that stuff happened. Manali changed me. Again, there are so many videos that I talk about it. You can go and watch them. And then, again, there was this huge patch where nothing really was moving. And fast forward to 2021, I went to US to live with my sister for 6 months. It was not a trip of 6 months, but it turned out to be a trip of 6 months. And I remember clearly that when I reached there, things were very different. Okay, again, I was not somebody who was knowing, who knew exactly like which direction she was headed, and I was just still figuring things out. I was figuring out how things work. I was figuring out how Instagram works and all these things. Even though things were okay, like they were decent, but they weren't great. I just remember this one day in May when I took my diary and I wrote something down. I always mention this in my stories also, that I do this scripting technique called as writing in the past tense, which means when I was writing as of whatever date of May, I wrote down all that stuff as if it was 31st December 2021. I still cannot find that diary. I don't know why. Ever since I've come from US, I can't find that diary, and I so want to find it because I want to go back to that page, the page that I'm talking about, because this is exactly what I had written, like I'm saying. So I dated the page as 31st December and I started writing down that, oh, back in May, something happened and May was amazing. It turned out to be this way. And every month starting May onwards turned for me. This happened and that happened and I made my first 6 figures. And just like all these things, I started to write down. And I am not kidding. Every single thing that I had wrote down on that page came true, because May turned out to be the first month when I hit my first 6 figures. It was the first time I had ever made 2 lakhs in a month. After that month, every single month, it just kept going over and above and beyond. I hit my first 500,000, 5 lakhs. I hit 9 lakhs in a month in December 2021. I just never looked back. Now, how this happened is, I'll tell you, when I was writing this thing down back in May, I was realizing that there were a lot of beliefs telling me how I couldn't do it. There was a lot of healing that had to be done because of the dark phase that I was talking about earlier. There was a lot of forgiveness that had to be done, from my end, forgiving myself and forgiving other people in this whole process, because I was identifying things that had the power to shift my emotional state in a negative way. I was identifying all these things. Who are the people? Who are the situations? What are the circumstances that hold the power right now to shift my emotional state in a negative way? Now, when I did that, a lot of stuff came up, obviously. And while I was walking through all these things, so let me tell you, I do not believe in working hard and burning myself out to the point, hustling, right? I've said this multiple times. I don't believe in that. I believe in hustling on the inside. Everything that I was doing, I was hustling on the inside. I was making sure that my beliefs align with what I wanted to achieve. If I wanted to achieve 6 figures, my beliefs should have told me that you can do this. I had no doubt in my mind. So I was working through that. I was working through healing people. If somebody else had the power to shift how I feel, I had to forgive them, I had to forgive myself, and I had to heal these areas of me. So I was working on that. I was working every single day on my mindset and making myself feel as if everything that I wanted was the most approachable thing ever. So all my life, I had put 6 figures on a pedestal. I used to feel like 6 figures, oh my God, it's such a big deal. So that big deal always felt like a big deal, and it just proved itself to be a big deal. Never happened. But the moment I started to normalize it, the moment I started to tell myself that fine, like it is just 6 figures, what's the big deal? And if you think about it, it is actually very easy to do that. When I started to normalize things, everything fell into place. I didn't even hit my 1 lakh starting. I directly hit 2 lakhs in the starting. And it happened in 2 weeks, by the way. In 2 weeks, I went from working on my belief system to straight away hitting my first 2 lakhs. And I remember, how this whole process turned out. Firstly, when I was sure that my beliefs align what I want to experience with, because your beliefs equal your reality. Whatever you choose to believe in your favor, not in your favor, whatever that is, your beliefs dictate what shows up in your outer reality. So I had to make sure that my beliefs don't tell me that I can't do this. They don't tell me what a big deal something is, because if I believed it was a big deal, it would have been a big deal, like I said. The moment I worked through all these things, I made a decision. I set an intention and I made a decision and I put it out aloud. So I told this to my sister when I was living with her, that I am going to make my first 6 figures by the end of December, by the end of this month. And this was before I hit, obviously. When I was walking through my belief system, I had told her that I'm going to hit my first 6 figures before December. You wait and watch. I'm going to show this to you. And just speaking about it felt like, what am I saying? That's exactly why I kept saying it over and over again until it started to normalize in my head. And exactly 2 weeks after is, when all these things happen. To say the least, when I talk about decisions and intentions, if there is one thing that's the most prominent throughout this whole journey, is that I took a decision. Your decisions are so incredibly powerful that when you talk about parallel realities, the fact that, there are multiple realities playing out side by side. So even when I was talking about this stuff, I knew that there was a reality where I was already making 6 figures, where I was already hitting all my goals and I was already living the life I wanted to live. There was already a reality that existed. So when I take a decision, I choose to quantum leap into that reality. So when I make a decision, my whole energy, my body, my mind, my everything sort of starts to channel, that combined energy towards this reality. That's exactly what happened. When I set an intention, I told myself, this is it. There is no looking back, because I know that for me to step into a different reality, all I need is a decision. That's all I need. So with me taking a decision, I choose to step into that reality, and then everything will fall into place for me. And I am not joking when I say this, that the hard work that I did was on the inside, and rest, everything was handed over to me. I have mastered how to manipulate energy in my favor. I worked on my energy. I did all this, and the rest, universe took care of me. It got me my soul clients, it got me the money, it got me the abundance, it got me everything that I needed. I never had to reach out to anybody. Everybody found me. My clients found me. The money found me. I was just showing up on, let's say, my social media every single day, or even if not every single day, whenever I was showing up with the right energy. I was showing up with the intention that there is money always flowing into my life. I was showing up with the intention that my life can change any moment. And I was showing up with the certainty that everything that I want, I just need to take a decision. I just need to take one decision and set one intention. And when I do that, I start to show up as that person who's already hit her goals. I literally started to show up as the person who was making 6 figures, who was acting like a 6-figure business owner, who was living her routine, her everyday routine. Let's say if I had to hit 6 figures, and if I already had 6 figures, would I still worry about it? Would I still stress about it? Would I still be thinking, how is it going to happen and all this stuff? No, I would be relaxed. I would be content knowing that it's already mine. So with that energy, I started to show up every single day. Every single day was relaxed, was stress-free, because I knew that, hey, it's already mine. It's already mine. I just had to set a decision, and I did. And I had to show up with the right energy. I had to have my beliefs straight, which I did. I had to do the healing thing, which I did. And rest, everything is going to be taken care of. And that's exactly what I did. And that's exactly what happened. I have never felt this whole process, this whole journey of repaying my loan, never felt like burnout, never felt like, how am I going to do this? And my God, this is so tough and all that. Things just flowed. Things literally just flowed. December, when I hit 9 lakhs in a month, just speaking about this feels like, what? It was a dream a couple of months ago, and now it happens like this. And why it happens is because I know how to manipulate energy in my favor. I know how to match my beliefs according to what I want to experience. I know there are no unhealed parts of me in me anymore. I know how to make sure that you co-create with the universe. You don't have to do all the job. You don't have to worry about how it's going to happen. You don't have to have all these answers. You just have to take care of these things, and the universe is going to take care of the rest. You take one step and the universe is going to take 4 steps. For a lot of people, this feels too good to be true, but I'm a living proof. I was just relaxing. I was chilling through the days. I was doing what felt aligned. Like if I was working, it felt fun. It felt exciting to be showing up on my stories. It felt exciting to be putting out content. That's all I was doing. And everything flowed towards me. Clients flowed towards me, just every single thing. And it happened so effortlessly. International clients who have never heard of me, they come across me, they call me and tell me that, oh, there was something about your energy and now I want to sign up. So that's the kind of magnetic energy that I stepped into the moment I decided that this is what my reality needs to look like. A lot of you don't even decide. A lot of you are so okay with living the life that you're currently living that you don't even have the courage to decide that this is what I want. I'm challenging you to go and do that. I'm challenging you to go and just decide that this is what I want. Let it feel stupid or silly or whatever, and don't worry about the how it's going to happen. Just make sure your beliefs are aligned. Just make sure that you're always expecting things to work out for you. Subconsciously, you're not expecting things to not go your way, because then it's never going to go your way. Always expect things to go your way. When you wake up in the morning, expect today I'm going to receive a certain amount of money. I'm going to receive an unexpected surprise. Today is going to be an amazing day. Start with that certainty. Start with that expectation of things always working out for you, and then see what happens. The self-talk that you do with yourself is the most important thing that you will ever do. Make sure that your thoughts, your conversations with yourself align with what you want to experience. Align with whatever you want to see in your reality, and not the other way around. Because when your attention goes there, your reality just matches up. So to say the least, in simple terms, I worked on my inner work. I did all the inner work, my beliefs, my thoughts, my healing, all that. And I made sure that I knew what I wanted. And I made sure that I decide. When I decide, I move realities. I shift realities. I start to show up as that person who's already done it, who already has the money. And with that energy, everything just flows. Everything just flows. So this feels, I know how it feels for people to, repay loans and things like that, even for people who do business and stuff. For me, it felt so damn effortless. It felt like things were just flowing for me. They were just happening for me. And that's exactly why I started the Effortless AF Academy. December was the launch month for the Academy. We are starting in February, and it is going to be the place where I teach you exactly how to do all of these things. If you are somebody who wants to be at a place where you've always wanted to be, and you want to be at that place effortlessly, not with struggling, not with hustling, and not with all this crap that we've been taught. How about imagining that things are flowing to me, things are flowing in my life, my beliefs are aligned, I'm healed completely of everything, and things are now just flowing for me. Money is coming to me, career is coming to me, relationships are coming to me, I am confident, I am that version of me who I've always wanted to be. What if you could get all these things effortlessly? So I am going to be teaching you all these things, and the best part is that now that I've mastered this, I am looking for people who want to become the masters of their reality and who want to be my tribe, and we are here to win the world. That's what we're here to do. And I'm looking for people who want to do that with me. So 12 months of accountability, of support, of my help, and just like me guiding you throughout all of these things is what I'm going to be doing with you. You're going to get insane amount of value through the pre-recorded modules in it, which are going to be more than 28, 29 modules. You're going to get more than 12 to 13 masterclasses free of cost. There are going to be exclusive workshops and masterclasses inside the academy. We're going to have Q&A sessions. There's going to be a community you can fall back on for help and growth and support. There's going to be so much. And for now, it's at 22,000 for 1 full year. If you're interested, the link is in the description. Go to the link and check out the details and everything. You can reach out to me on DM via Instagram if you have any questions, or if you want to know more about the payment plans. And let's make 2022 as ours. Let's not live an average life. Let's not be here for the little things, and let's make a bigger impact. So if that's you, I'm going to see you inside the academy, and let me know in the comments what were your takeaways from this video, and I'm going to see you in my next video.